For 2 years, an anonymous marketplace allowed users to buy and sell illegal goods with the ease of a standard e-commerce platform. This was the Silk Road, a $1.2 billion empire run by a mastermind known only as Dread Pirate Roberts. The site operated behind a dual digital shield. The encryption was so effective that it was actually a product of the U.S. military. The Navy developed Tor to protect government intelligence, but now it was being used to hide a global narcotics operation. Federal agencies, including the FBI and DEA, were essentially blind. The technology was working exactly as intended, making it impossible for investigators to breach the site's digital perimeter using traditional cyber surveillance. To find the person behind the screen, the government had to shift its focus away from the high-tech network and start looking for low-tech human mistakes. The FBI's first breakthrough came from a vulnerability in the Silk Road's own custom code. Because the site was built in relative isolation, a small error in the architecture inadvertently leaked its true IP address to the open web. That IP address acted as a beacon, leading agents to the physical servers in a commercial data center in Iceland. By monitoring the logs, the FBI followed the administrator's live signal back across the ocean to a specific internet cafe in San Francisco. The technological search had located the physical source of the traffic. The FBI knew where the administrator was working from, but they still had no idea who was sitting behind the keyboard. IRS agent Gary Alford took a different approach. He was looking for the digital equivalent of a parking ticket, a minor, careless error left behind at the start of the crime. He began a chronological search for the very first time Silk Road was mentioned on the internet. Alford found a post from early 2011 on a forum for mushroom enthusiasts. A user named Altoid was asking if anyone had checked out a new site called the Silk Road, effectively promoting the marketplace days after it launched. In a separate post made months later, the same user, Altoid, posted a job ad for a Bitcoin-related project. He asked interested applicants to contact a personal email address, rossulbricht@gmail.com. Alford researched Ross Ulbricht and found a match for the Dread Pirate Roberts persona. Ulbricht's LinkedIn manifestos echoed the site's anti-government philosophy, and his unique typing patterns, specifically his use of the word yeah instead of yes, matched the administrator's forum posts. On a coding forum, Ulbricht had asked technical question about the Tor network using his real name. Within 60 seconds, he edited the post and changed his username to the pseudonym Frosty. Alford had a primary suspect, but the evidence was still largely circumstantial. He had the profile of a man, but no technical link to the active server traffic in San Francisco. Gary Alford eventually shared his findings on a multi-agency call with the investigators tracking the site's server logs. When Alford mentioned the name Ulbricht had used to hide his real identity on the coding forum, Frosty, the FBI agents on the call stopped him. The FBI's data from the Icelandic server showed that the administrator's computer had been given a specific device name. The name assigned to that computer was Frosty. Alford then provided the suspect's current location. Ross Ulbricht was living in an apartment in San Francisco, just a few blocks from the internet cafe the FBI had already identified. The two separate tracks of the investigation had found the same man. The anonymous mastermind was no longer a digital ghost. He was a physical target. The FBI's primary concern was the evidence. To secure the conviction, they needed to catch Ulbricht while his laptop was still open and the admin credentials were live. If the lid snapped shut, the drive would instantly encrypt. All the site's internal records and Bitcoin wallets would be locked away forever. On October 1, 2013, undercover agents followed Ulbricht into the San Francisco Public Library. He sat at a desk, logged into the Silk Road, and began his day's work. To prevent him from reaching the keyboard, two agents staged a loud argument right behind him. The noise forced Ulbricht to turn his head and pull his hands away from the computer. While he was looking away, an agent swooped in and grabbed the open laptop. At the same time, another team moved in to secure his hands and arrest him. On the screen was the Silk Road's master control panel. For all the technical sophistication of the site's encryption, the final link between the code and the man came down to simple human error.